I want to take us to the next thing that I'd like to ask you, because
Yes.
I think from our conversation, what we're saying is these other relationships, the other partner thrives because the other partner is filling gaps that the main person is not doing.
Exactly.
Right? So learning from, do you think then, if we actually studied these other relationships better, that we would actually get the answer to marriages from extra?
I am glad you said that, because I've always said in Kenya we have no institutes that study human nature.
Yes.
That study the psychology of relationships.
Yeah.
You're very right. If we studied what the other woman does, we would have social attributes that we can actually inflict in the main marriages.
Yes. To make them work.
Yes, and also perceptions of how you should handle one another in a male marriage.
Yeah.
If we learned those, we'd have much more productive relations.
I think so too.
But today they're very regimental in a certain way.
Okay, so there is, when we started, there is friendship.
Yes.
There's communication.
Yes.
There is femininity. Let's talk about sex.
Yes.
Because also the other marriage.
Yes.
The other relationship usually has a more blossoming sex life than the main one.
Yes.
So let's talk about why that happens.
I don't just see you as an obligation. Every time I look at you, I don't see bills. I don't see electricity. I don't see water. I don't see school fees. Your mother rambles and my mother rambles and family responsibility.
Your relations are always in our house.
There's a lot of psychological neurochemicals that just depict obligation and stress. Whereas with her, she's learned my psyche and she's able to say, you know what, there's a weekend coming up in November. And we're switching off our phones.
And we're going.
And you and I are going to be 16-year-olds all over again. And you're going to do all those little things you like doing to me. This is a conversation that I can never have with my wife.
Why not?
Because we don't have that friendship. See, at the end of the day, if I'm your husband and you're my wife, I don't flirt with you, I don't seduce you, I don't remind you that you're a woman. All I do is I talk, I communicate with you in accordance with the fact that you are my wife. Yes, I've elevated you. I have to. Society has said, make sure your wife is fine. So my obligation towards you is to make sure that you eat and you're in comfort and you breathe. But I never remind you you're a woman. You never remind me that there's an inner boy who wants to have fun. So by the time we get to the bedroom, there's no fireworks.
So
there's no seduction.
Are you saying another way of looking at this is the same way? You just said that you've elevated her. So I've just thought, is it the same way you deal with, say, the president of a country? The way you deal with that person is very different. Even if he was your boy, he becomes the president. Suddenly the relationship is very... This is Mr.
You
President.
can't even crack
or
jokes
Madam President.
As freely
You're not sure.
And that's why sometimes you need to ask him, right now, are you the president or are you my friend?
Yes.
Because if you're my friend, hey, we can hang. But if you're a president, I need to be calm and collected. And that's what happens in the house. We become presidents of one another, so we can't joke anymore. And then the problem is, when you try and joke, people take the joke out of context.
Exactly. You can get in trouble.
I think Kenyan homes have a lot of artificial love and very little friendship. Yet friendship is the ingredient you need.
How does someone turn that around in their home?
I think relationships should be more lax. There should be a bit of laughter. We should be able to joke with one another. You as a wife should not look at me and go like, you know, that's my husband. So maybe there's some humor I need to keep away from him. The minute you keep away a certain humor, you'll just not share any type of humor. Because you'll just always go with the safe route. Whereas with friends, we can crack jokes. And whether that joke goes well or not, no one is offended. Whereas in the house, you may crack a joke and think like, does she think I'm her child? And where does that come from? I can see you were trying to joke with me, but I'm indirectly telling you, I'm your husband, so can you refrain from joking with me? And if you find another man who understands your jokes,
you get connected more to that person.
You get connected to that person.
Same as flipping it around for men. I know the things that men usually hide from women, the women they're with, is the more raunchy jokes, or, you know, some of these memes that you send of naked people. So they're always hiding that away from their wives.
Exactly, yes.
How does is that a good thing, first of all? Because I'm sure he'll show that to his other partner and they'll laugh about it.
Yes.
Why can't we do that with our partner? So what? So there's naked people on the phone, so?
Should we refrain from sharing such with our partners? No, because we will be induced by those who share. because they stimulate us in a certain way.
Yeah.
Let me tell you one thing. If your what's up with your partner is only about mundane things,
exactly,
like did you have
the bills,
lunch,
did you exactly,
you know, did you pick up the kids?
Yeah.
There's no excitement to it.
Yeah.
Then with the fact that now we're in such an open world, you'll have other people stimulating you differently, going like, wow, I need to see what this particular person sent today because I'm sure it's going to put a smile on my face.
Yeah.
Whereas with your partner, you always you always even mentally prepare yourself
now she's
to
asking
go all
me
formal.
about
Did you pick this? Did you do that?
Yes.
Did you? Whereas with other people, we're stimulating them and making them laugh, making them feel good about themselves. But we don't do that with our own partners.
Okay.
And yet you'll find some people say, but why do I have to put so much effort? She's already my husband. She's already
that's the problem,
my wife.
Because it's not a dog that you bring into your house and it remains yours.
Yeah, you know. But even with dogs, people laugh with dogs.
Exactly.
Well, I laugh with mine. I even talk to mine. See, there goes the problem. So if we can do that with our pets, and we can't do that with somebody you live with, what's the point?
Yeah.
If we can't, you see, the thing is, now we're talking about sex, and yet I hear we come from a very conservative country. We don't. I think people act conservatively depending on which forum they're in and who they're with. I find it strange when I can't share a sexual joke, or I'm not supposed to share a sexual joke
with my partner, who I'm having sex with. So,
yes, I find that ridiculous.
Yeah.
And then there's this perception that if a woman shows her real nature, kinky side,
she'll be disrespected.
No, the husband will find her a bit sluttish and he'll leave her.
Yeah.
Which is absolute nonsense, because men are usually running after sluttiness anyway.
Exactly.
I find that very odd. You know, suddenly if you were a girl in campus who used to dance on tables and now you're holier than thou, I mean, I've never seen a man gain an erection based on holier than thou.
That is true.
It's just fact.
That is true.
So I think some of these psychologies and relationships need to really be reviewed.
Okay.
People need to be taught there's nothing wrong with just being free with your partner.
So being more lax, being more relaxed in our relationships. Yes, being more relaxed, and sharing a laugh and treating sex as something fun as it was, and something, you know, beautiful and nice to experience with somebody.
Exactly.
So people have found themselves in this situation, right?
Yes.
Now we're talking about the couple that goes for a holiday and for 4 days they read books and talk about elephants.
Yeah.
Versus
if they happen
to see elephants.
Yes.
Versus when he goes with the other partner and they just have a hoot, they probably even bring some of their friends along. So here's my question.
Yes.
What is the answer for this person in a relationship that seems to have stalled, and he has this other vibrant thing that's going on with somebody who now he has grown to love, or she has grown to love, if it's a woman?
Yes.
And they have these two things that are balancing. What do they do? What's the solution for them?
What's the solution for the woman in this case?
I'm talking about the married man.
Yes.
Okay? He is in this relationship with his wife that has stalled.
Yes.
Because of all the reasons we have said.
Yes.
On the other hand, he's having a very vibrant relationship with this other person, including the sex, the laughter, the friendship, and all these things.
Yes.
This is a reality. This is like 6-7 years down the line. Okay, what's his solution? And on the flip side, if I'm a married woman and I'm with another man in the same situation, what's my solution? What do I do? Do I leave this one and try to make this one work? Do I leave this one and try to make that? What's the solution?
It's a good question, because I can tell you this, because I've witnessed it too many times. That triangle, love triangle, if I may call it that, where I have a wife and I have somebody else, you on the side.
Yes.
Truth of the matter is, if I leave my wife and make you my wife,
we'll go through
at some point, I will replace you the same way I replaced her. So this triangle is what causes us to be in the relationship.
Okay.
I'm not with you because you're better than her.
Yes.
And she's clearly not as good as you. But her relevance is the fact that I know when I'm with you, this is a lust factor because I know I'm breaking a rule. And humans love breaking rules.
I think it's more than that, though, Maurice.
I
think in the beginning, it is about breaking the rule and all that stuff.
Yes.
But 7 years later, you're not doing it because you're breaking a rule.
Okay. I'm telling you this because I've known a guy who had a side woman for 23 years. And the minute things really didn't work with...
And he jumped here, it didn't work.
Yes, with the wife, he jumped here. this ceased to be.
Yeah, but you know why? And I'm going to take this from what you have said.
Yes.
I don't think it's about breaking the rule. I think the reason why this would cease to be is because that whole I am now married, you are now my wife, and this is how we should relate.
Yes.
He took it from there and he brought it here. And that's why this didn't work. Wouldn't you say that's correct?
No, in this case, because I know the case very well. In this case, what happened was she stopped being the positive influencer. She went into wife mode.
Exactly. So it wasn't about breaking the rule. This is my point. It didn't work because he stopped breaking a rule. It worked because she stopped being the person that she was.
Yes, but
as
there's
a
a question I asked him. I asked him, were you going to be faithful with this one, who's been the only woman you've been seeing?
Yeah.
And he said, no. Do you know why? He told me, he said, as much as I know I enjoy something that will drive me to try and work on this is another external factor.
Okay.
So what he's saying is, she will never be the relationship I have with my wife. I'll still find her lustful.
Yes.
But I still need somebody else to fuel me towards her.
Yeah.
I don't know how to just be centered.
Yes.
That's him.
Do you think we should now talk about opening this thing up so that society is not going to condemn you if you have more than one partner?
Right.
And society is not going to make it wrong. Therefore, people can actually make informed decisions between themselves of how they want to conduct their relationships without the backlash from the church or the government or their families. Do you think this is...
Okay. I don't want to break marriage as a sanctity. It's been there for a very long time. And it's not because I'm religious. I just believe that it's something that people follow for a very long time.
Yes.
So let them follow. But what I do believe is people should be given choice.
Yes, which is what I'm saying.
Yes, whether they should get married or not.
Yeah.
Because I've profiled a lot of people in marriages who were never meant for monogamy. At all, both men and women. It just does not work out. And sometimes they'll ask, these are the people who ask, I've been in 10 relationships and none have worked. You'll find that at the end of the day, it's not a fault of their own or the partner, it's just they're not wired for that kind of relationship. And that's why today you'll find, even though it's frowned on, you'll find very productive relationships that are open relationships.
Exactly.
Yet, if you ask a common Kenyan what an open relationship means, open relationship means that people are going to sleep with multiple people. Whereas I can tell you this very confidently, there are people in open relationships who do not sleep with as many people as those in a confined relationship, which we call the heterosexual one man, one woman, because of that freedom.
I agree with you. However, I'm going to take it beyond people choosing not to get married. I want to say we should be open enough for, if I'm getting married to you, see, it's our relationship.
Yes,
correct?
Yes, exactly.
So if me and you decide, listen, we're getting married, however, we are leaving the doors open, so to speak, an open relationship, I think that is something society should begin to embrace, as long as we have that agreement with each other. Don't you think so? Even if we're married.
I totally agree.
So if we're to conclude this one today, what is a few words of conclusions you would say, especially as far as society sees relationships and as far as how to conduct ourselves when we have other relationships and we're married?
I think the family unit needs to be remodeled in terms of we need to have studies about the different type of categories of people that we have.
Okay.
The fact that liberals can never survive with a conservative. Those are just facts.
Okay.
We need to have, as we get people into that marital family setting, we need to have enough information for people to know that, you know what, I can actually go on 10 dates and Kenyans don't judge me. See, the problem is I can't go to the same Java with 10 different women. People just say, this guy is a manhole. Whereas I wasn't going to Java to have sex with women.
I was just getting to know them.
Getting to know them.
We're hanging out.
Yes. We need to move away from, when Mona and I meet, Mona is everything. God must have designed this day.
For me.
No one else is relevant. And then you and I, out of that excitement that we've been taught to think,
we stretch
something that's not working. So that's one of the things that I can mention. We need to start rewiring how people think about relationships. It's important,
and we need
especially
to stop,
for the younger generation.
And we need to stop judging.
Yes,
we need to stop judging.
Kenyans are amazing at judging.
Yes.
And double standards.
And double standards.
Yes, totally.
Okay, great. All right, so that was just, I think, a little bit about this conversation and a little bit about this topic of the other partner, and also how that affects our marriages. And most importantly for me, how we can learn also to borrow from these other relationships and other partners to make our own marriages work. What can we study about the relationships that go on for 23 years, usually hidden? What can we study that made them survive? And how can we implement that in our mainstream relationships? And also, how can we as society start talking differently about what a healthy relationship is? Maurice said he prefers to call it a productive relationship.
Yes.
So how can we have that conversation of productive relationships? I think this is something we need to keep talking about. So thank you so much, Maurice Matheka. Once again, it's a pleasure. It's always a pleasure to talk with you.
Always. I love the banter.
Yes, the banter is amazing.
Yes.
And thank you so much for watching Life with Mona. Like I said, today is our very first episode with Film Crew in Africa. It's been amazing, and we know we'll continue to do great things together. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. Be open.